Welcome to episode 3 of the Pythagorean Theorem podcast. I am Shmev.
I'm Presley.
I'm Leighton.
And joining us on Zoom is Evan.
Hello.
All right, so our guest today is 6'10", and you may be thinking, oh, he's a basketball player. No. He is a bowler.
I'm sorry.
He is a bowler. He comes from a family of giraffes, and it is our friend Chris.
Yay!
How we doing, Chris?
I'm alive. I'm here.
You're alive, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you get any when you're out in public? Do you get people that say these stupid dad jokes?
Okay. No,
about your
it's not
height?
even that. It's the fact that I'll go into a grocery store and some old lady can't reach something, immediately sees me and her face just lights up. It's
Yeah.
like, please help me. I'm fine, I guess.
You got get a lot of people asking your height when you're in public.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Really?
all the time. It happens everywhere I go.
I ask you at least once a week.
That's true. Just to make sure I didn't grow anymore.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you do.
Well, I mean, I'm only 20. I'm supposed to grow until I'm like 24. Like, doctors projected I was supposed to be like 7'4".
Yeah.
I really hope not. I really hope I do not reach 7'4".
Yeah. Well, anyway, we got some variety of topics we're going to talk about today, including our favorite customer service stories and true crime or fake crime. But without further ado, prepare yourself for a session of awkwardness. All right, so I think all of us except for Evan have worked in the customer service industry. And obviously, you got some crazy people that come in, and whether it's the store or restaurant or whatever. So I just want to talk about some of our favorite customer service stories. I mean, I worked at a grocery store for 4.5 years, and the amount of people that either pooped or peed their pants in the grocery store
Kids.
was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I was there for one.
Adults,
Yeah.
not kids.
I was going to ask, are these children?
Nope.
No,
Adults.
most of the time it's adults that just defecate or pee their pants,
Have you not
either in
heard
the
this?
line or just
No.
shopping. Presley worked at the grocery store I worked at for a little bit.
Yeah.
You had one where you remember pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, she was coming through the line. She was acting a little uncomfortable. And then thereafter, I was at the register. Someone was bagging for me. And someone whoever was bagging, I don't remember who, just kind of that thing you do with your eyes when you want somebody to look at something, but you can't say anything.
Right.
They were doing that, and I couldn't look over the register. I couldn't do it until they had left. But after I got around the register, there's a puddle, and it followed her out the door.
And she just left it.
Just left it. Didn't
Acted
say
like she didn't do anything.
say a word.
And she wasn't old,
No,
right?
No,
Yeah.
this
Because you know how
one was,
old people, they pee or
middle-aged.
something, they don't
Yeah,
realize
well, they
it.
can't control that
Yeah.
sometimes. But no, she was of the age where I was like, that should not be a problem for you.
I
Right.
thought
We have
the
bathrooms.
peeing happened in the kids' playground because I worked at a fast food restaurant and they had a little play area,
Yeah.
and 2 different times they had to pee. But they're kids. It's gonna happen.
Understandable, but what goes through that person's head where they're just like, I'm gonna pee right here.
You know what? I'm checking out. Do I have my card? I got all my groceries. I gotta pee.
Right here.
Already in the line,
here.
I can't go back.
Yeah, I can't go back. I've been standing in this line for 10 minutes. 5 people in front of me.
Yeah.
I have to go now.
The craziest thing I think that happened at the store I worked at, there was this regular customer that would come in, I'd say once out of every 2 weeks. We called her the crazy coupon lady.
I was about to bring her up, yeah.
Yeah. Every time she'd come in, she would buy a ton of detergent and baby wipes and stuff like that, you clean with, or medicine and all that. And she always had a ton of coupons. But the
Hence
thing is,
the name.
most of the coupons we started catching on were out of date, or it was a Kroger only coupon. I didn't work at Kroger; it's a completely other store. Or she brought in a McDonald's coupon one time.
For what, a Big Mac?
I don't know.
I didn't know they carried
Oh,
Big
man.
Macs.
And argued
Grocery
with
stores.
us. But we
Seriously.
found, because we every time she'd come into the store, we would get our manager to come up, because it was this bad, and she would argue every time. She brought in a coupon one time for some Windex that expired in 2010.
And
this
when
was what, like
this?
a year
This
ago?
was like a year or two ago.
Oh.
10 years expired.
jeez.
And what'd she do? She argued with us.
How can you argue when you're clearly wrong?
I don't know.
I don't know. It
I
says
wanna
it right
see
there.
It
on
just
the-
her home. She seems like a hoarder.
Oh, yeah.
That just
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
piles of coupons. She's like, I'm just gonna take these today and see what I can get away
Yeah.
with.
Do you know if she was actually married?
I don't know.
Because this pertains to my next story.
She always came in by herself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But supposedly she was married, and her husband also had a rewards card to this store. I remember the time I only saw her like once. She came in through my line and had like a can of something, canned fruit. Came through, put that on one rewards card, and then paid on a separate transaction with another card with a different rewards card that was supposedly her husband's. It's just hitting me that it is not beyond her to just make up another account.
Yeah, that's true. No, there's also another lady that oh my goodness, and this still aggravates me. She came through my line one time, and she wanted change in exchange for cash, which, that happens sometimes. No. She wanted $100 in change. She had a $100 bill, and she wanted $100 in change. And so we had rolls of quarters that were $10 a roll, and like rolls of nickels that was like
Yeah.
certain like $2 a roll. And so, I was like, okay, would you like 10 rolls of quarters? She's like, no, I don't want to do it like that. She wanted a certain amount of quarters, certain amount of nickels, certain amount of dimes, a ton of pennies.
Dude, you do not need to be going to
We're not
a
the bank.
grocery
Right.
place.
Have you ever heard of a bank?
Yeah.
And so we got my manager up, and so my manager went to the safe, and for so long, just sat at the safe, just pulling out all this change she wanted in exchange for that $100 bill.
Well, she came back, right? And you didn't do it the second time?
She did it No. Well, we finally stopped her. It went on too long. The
That's gonna
manager
mess up
finally
your,
told her we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, because that's really going to mess up your closeout at
Right.
the end of
Oh,
the
yeah.
night.
Oh, absolutely.
Just all these quarters just gone.
Don't even tell me about closeouts. I worked at a cell phone store a couple of years ago, and this dude came in, and he like just wanted to buy a brand new iPhone, just like flat out with cash. We're like, okay, cool. The total ended up being like $1,200 or something like that, because he bought like a case, an extra charger, everything like that. He paid in $1 bills. The entire $1,200. He said that he had just gotten back from Vegas, and he had money just burning a hole in his pocket, just wanted to buy a phone. It took us an hour to count all that just to make sure. And closing was absolutely terrible. Just trying to fix all the tills and everything like that. It was terrible.
I don't understand people.
I don't either. If you ones, okay, maybe if it was like $100 bills, even
That'd
then,
be fine.
yeah,
But ones.
Have y'all ever gotten fake money before?
Yes.
Yeah.
At one of my
Yeah.
first days at that grocery store I worked at.
I've actually surprisingly not had that happen, but there's certain dollar bills that are really old that are
Yeah.
hundreds,
Yep.
and everyone's like, "Oh, that's fake," and it's not fake. It just
No.
turns out, it's real.
Right.
But
I had several people at the cell phone store that I worked at that tried to buy like brand new stuff with just like absolutely fake dollar bills. I had one where they actually did bring in Monopoly money.
What?
and seriously,
He was a little weird, but
Little off.
he actually brought Monopoly money in and tried to purchase something.
Was
At
there
that
a
point-
cameraman in the background? Like,
I don't
Was
yeah,
this
it's
a prank?
TikTok.
Dude,
yeah,
like,
Chris,
I-
are you on a TV show?
somewhere.
Some
I
practical
like.
jokers.
I called my DM about that. I was like, "Hey, can you come handle this? I don't really want to because I'll hurt his feelings."
Yeah, what do you even say to a guy like that?
Goodness.
No, we can't. We cannot use this.
No.
I'm sorry, we don't accept foreign money or monopoly money.
Did he have any get out of jail free cards? Because I may give him some Monopoly money for that.
Yeah, those are worth something.
That's a good
you know?
guy.
I mean, we could go on and on probably. Just
I
work at
think
a
there's-
grocery store, just
Yeah.
something public service.
I
like
guarantee you, after the podcast is over, I'm gonna think of like, oh my goodness, I should have
Yeah.
told that story.
I know
'Cause I
there's
have
a
so
lot.
many that it's hard to just choose what. Like,
Yeah.
it
I
got
actually
to.
kind of have two
Okay.
Okay.
that I thought about, and they both end with a first responder coming. So I kind of felt like
Lovely.
that was kind of the highlight, but that's basically the only reason. So this one story doesn't have anything to do with like an actual customer. It's just it happens, and it happened like 3 different times. So we have these CO2 machines that I guess we use that for like the soda or whatever, and occasionally they will start to leak, and that's kind of dangerous when you have CO2 leaking. And so there's no way of knowing other than just to have an alarm, basically. So we had a CO2 alarm. And this thing went off on 3 different occasions. And basically, when that thing goes off, everyone has to evacuate.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has to evacuate. And then all the customers in line, like this was during COVID. So no one was in the store, thankfully, no customers.
Right.
But everyone in the drive-thru, super upset. None of their food's going to work. Everything is just shut down. And we all get to basically just sit outside and get paid to do nothing for a little while.
All right.
And wait for the firefighters to get there. So I thought it was all right. I thought that was a pretty interesting story. And I even, like, they gathered a bunch of food for us to eat or whatever before they got outside the building. And, but they didn't grab any sauce. And I was like,
Just ruins the whole day.
I have got to get some sauce. So I'm not going to lie. Even though there was CO2 going on, I went back in that building and I got some sauce.
That sauce is so good you can risk your life for
Yeah,
it.
I was fine. I just leaned in, grabbed it, and came back.
Did anybody know? Or
Oh, yeah.
notice?
I was like, does anyone want some sauce? Because I'm going in
I'm
there.
going back in there.
And they're like, no, you probably don't need to do that. I'm like, listen, I am not going to eat this without my
Yeah.
sauce. So that, and then this other story, I didn't really think too much of it, but this guy came through, and you know, at a fast food restaurant, like, how many times has your food been wrong? Like,
Right.
a
A
bajillion
ton.
times.
Yeah, a couple.
It
So
happens.
this guy comes through, and he's like, listen, if my food is wrong, we're going to have a problem. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to get your order right. You know, don't, you know, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, no, seriously, if this is, like, messed up, we are going to have a problem here. And I was like, what are you going to do? Come back and shoot me? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, don't
I didn't
tempt
think
them.
too much of it. But this guy behind me, he actually kind of heard this conversation. And he was like, all right, I'm going to go tell the managers. Like, he was a little older than me, and he was like, felt really comfortable talking to the managers about this. So he got them to basically call the cops on this guy. And so they came in and basically was like, this is what he was saying. And I even got questioned by the cops. I had the pleasure of, yeah.
Forgot about that.
So that was probably my craziest experience.
That reminds me of a story that I haven't thought about until maybe the day this happened. This was nuts. So one of my last months working at that store, it was just some normal day. It was over the summer, and this lady comes in. I have a customer at my line in this grocery store, and she's like, hey, I need your manager up front right now. And I was like, all right, good to see you too. So I called over the intercom. I was like, yeah, manager, can you come up front? Whatever. I was front end supervisor, so I could have handled this, but the way she was reacting, I was like, no, I'm not.
Need a manager.
I think I'd already put in my 2-week notice, so I didn't care. And so I called up my manager. And so basically, the manager proceeds to tell, or the customer proceeds to tell the manager that her phone is missing, and she believes someone that works in our store stole her phone.
I remember this.
Because her husband, she had that thing on her, find my iPhone,
Find My
or whatever,
iPhone, yeah.
and it pinged at the grocery store I worked at. So they came here and they searched every aisle. The customers were looking in the aisle, like rummaging through like chips and drinks and whatever to
Did they
find their
open
phone.
anything?
I don't think so. Well, then after, I'm not kidding you, an hour, they called the police on us. So the cops pulled up. She was talking to the police. She was like, someone here stole my phone. I know it. And the cop I remember what he said, and it killed me. She said, because she was standing in the front, and she went, "Someone stole my phone." And he went, "Okay, hold on, calm down. Question, how do you know?" And she was like, "Because it pinged right here." And he said, "Okay, so you're telling me you searched the whole store for an hour trying to find your phone?" And he was like, "Why are you putting so much trust in this app?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
He was like, "You going crazy is not helping anything."
Yeah.
And so she still is acting a fool.
Still very worked up.
Very
I'm sure.
worked up.
Yeah. I'm
And
sure that
so-
didn't help.
She wanted us to check on our roof, the roof of the building. And
Why
so-
would it be
I
there?
need to say this. The thing about the Find My iPhone app, that's just going to go to the most recent thing that
Yeah,
it
right.
pinged.
Recent. I was
That
about to
doesn't
say.
mean that that's the last place it was.
Correct.
That's just it
To
means
the roof.
yeah, to the roof. Apparently, someone that worked there with us took it, threw it on the roof for safekeeping, and was going to go get it later.
Yeah. And so the store manager, remember, he's a really nice guy, and
Yeah.
he doesn't like to tell customers no.
Well,
And so what did he do when she asked? He was like, "Yeah, we'll go on the roof." So he
You
climbed on the
serious?
roof. Yeah, he
didn't
climbed
know
on
that
the
part.
roof to find this phone. She had convinced herself someone that works at our store chucked her phone on top of the roof.
Also, at that point, the thing's destroyed. If you
Yeah.
chuck a
Yeah.
phone
Chuck
up to
the
the,
phone-
who even cares
How
at that
tall
point?
grocery stores are.
Yeah.
It's high.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
so they
not for me, but
Yeah, you can
I
just
mean, you could
touch
just
it.
reach over.
So they climb on the roof. They look around. It's not there, obviously.
Yeah.
My manager, the assistant store manager, she's done. She started going off on this lady. She was like, "You are not coming into my store and accusing my employees of stealing your phone and
Yeah.
calling the cops and like distracting them from work."
Yep.
Man, I love that. That was amazing.
That's
That's
powerful.
what needed to be said. Like
Yeah,
20 minutes in.
the story gets better.
I don't remember this.
I don't remember
She,
this. Next
because the
part.
store I worked at, things are connected to the store.
right.
Yeah.
Like a
Other
there's
stores,
a there's a
like a strip.
yeah there's like
Strip mall.
a Dollar General and a restaurant and something else. She walked over to the Dollar General and told her phone was missing, and they said, "Oh yeah, we found a phone. We kept it right here for you." It was at the store next door the whole time, and she was going off on us.
I do not remember this.
It made me feel so good inside. She-
Okay, if Find My iPhone, it gives you a wide
Right.
range.
Yeah,
Like a-
radius.
Why would she not check the other store
Well-
before going to the roof?
Yeah.
Really checked the roof of a grocery
Yes.
store.
Yeah.
Before checking the other stores.
See, that makes me. That makes me think she was never even at the store you worked at. She
Oh,
was at the one
probably.
next door
Yeah.
and thought someone from that store came around, stole it, threw it on the roof, and went back to work.
Yeah, but let me tell you, customers like that would make my day.
Dude, I had one that was just so bad. At the time, I was a manager of the cell phone store, and we had this one woman come in, and she was just super irate. She was insane. She was just going on and on about how her phone wasn't working or anything like that, and she demanded to see a manager. Me, being the smarty pants that I am, did a 360. I was like, "Hi, what can I do for you?" It was the only time I've ever done that. It was the same situation where I had just put my 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
I really did not care, but I was still the manager at that store, so I that was a perfect opportunity to just be like that. I was like,
That's
I have to do this.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
That's
Dude,
amazing.
my coworkers were laughing at that for weeks.
Yeah, I worked in customer service for so long that when those type of people came in, like it would literally get me excited.
Oh, it made my day.
Yeah.
because I was like,
That-
this is gonna end beautifully.
That was fun.
It's like, we got a live one. Get ready.
Yeah.
So and so just walked in the store. You remember that time I was, I don't know if I had just made it to supervisor position at that same grocery store, but you remember that time, since we were talking about that very first story at the checkout with the urination, I went to the bathroom once. You remember when there was just like poop everywhere?
Yes, it happened to me a separate time.
Yeah. Who's going into the, I almost said where, into the store, can't make it to the bathroom and decides to just start throwing it in the trash can, throw it on the wall, throw some in the toilet. It was
literally-
everywhere.
Yeah, it was on
Everywhere.
the wall.
On the wall.
And like,
Why?
I don't know.
Why? What goes through people's heads just to do that?
And we had to clean it up.
I had to clean
Oh,
it.
absolutely not. I would have quit that day.
Yeah, the
There's poop
pay
on the
was
wall.
not.
It wasn't.
worth
There's
It
poop
wasn't
on the
worth
wall.
it.
I'm
No.
out.
Yeah. This isn't a safe environment. I don't feel safe. There's poop on the wall.
Right.
I'm
Well,
getting out. We could probably go on and on and
yeah,
on.
we could, but if we went on and on and on, this would be the whole
I have
podcast.
one more
Yeah.
thing to say unrelated.
Okay.
I just realized I put my shirt on backwards.
Nice.
Look.
Oh, it's inside out.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's inside
Nice. You're smart.
I like the fashion trend you're doing there, lady.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right.
out. All
well,
right.
We're gonna play a little game. We played this last podcast. If you haven't heard this, go back to episode 2 and listen to that. But from the people that listen, I got some pretty good feedback from this game, and so I figured we'd play it again. So we are playing true crime or fake crime. So if you don't know how this game works, so I'm gonna read off 5 stories, and at the end of each story, you guys have to guess whether it is a true crime or a story that I just completely made up. All right?
All right.
I.
I'm ready. Because last time we had a good time.
This was
yes.
fun.
This was great.
All right.
But you said you put.
Put a little more thought into it.
I don't know what's going to be real and what isn't.
Try not to look at my screen because you might see the answer on here.
I'll just
So-
look at Presley's pretty face. How you doing?
yeah.
Hey, Chris. I'll just.
All right,
mine,
this
Chris.
first story, just a warning, is a little long, but it has to because there's a lot of details that go into this. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Story 1.
Okay.
In 1971, Paul and Lillian Musgrove moved into a new house in Claremore, Oklahoma, where their goal is to settle and start a family. There are a few grocery stores and other shops downtown, a church they started attending, and a school where they plan for their future kids to enroll in. Their house was in a friendly and quiet neighborhood with many people around their age, so the Musgroves didn't take long to find new friends and feel comfortable to the town of Claremore. However, it also didn't take long for them to feel uncomfortable with their own house. They started noticing objects in their house disappearing, things being moved from the last time they touched them, and on occasion would hear footsteps and movement coming from within the house. Paul and Lillian started believing that their house was haunted. They had lived at the house for about a month at this point and got really used to these things happening. And while they were annoying, it started not to bother them. That was until one night they were awoken by 2 very loud noises. They had not heard something like this yet, so Paul got out of bed and went to investigate. What he found was something extremely bizarre. A man lying on his kitchen floor in agonizing pain. Paul rushed to his wall phone and immediately called 911. The police fled to the Musgrove house and arrested a man by the name of William Jernigan, an inmate convicted of attempted murder of his ex-wife. The loud noises that they heard was Jernigan tripping and falling in the attic, then falling through the attic and onto the kitchen floor. He had escaped from prison in Pryor, Oklahoma, a month earlier, which is a town like a few miles away. Jernigan had been living in the heating unit in the Musgroves' attic for a month. There was a vent he could see through the attic that had a good angle of the front door. So when the Musgroves left, he would sneak down to the kitchen and eat their own food. He was charged with criminal trespass and faced 1 more year in jail for this act. Is this a true crime or fake crime?
Let's discuss.
Lived in the attic.
Lived in the heating unit of the attic. He
Which
escaped
is not
prison.
unheard of.
No. I've seen a couple YouTube videos. I think it was an apartment actually, where somebody was actually living up in the vents.
Yeah.
And then they set up. Have you seen this video?
Yes.
They set up cameras, and he would just
That
crawl
video is
down
just so eerie, dude.
in the
It's
middle of the
like,
night.
really?
It's freaky. I don't know.
I'm gonna say true.
Really?
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
say
this
true.
is very possible.
I'm
What do
gonna
you
go
think?
with false.
Why?
I don't know. I think it sounds crazy, but I know the point of this is for it to be kind of crazy. But I don't know. I feel like you tried very hard to put as much detail into it.
See, I
And-
thought the same thing, except when he said wall phone.
It was the 70s.
Yeah.
Evan, what you
Okay,
thinking?
I don't know if you would have
Unless
thought of
his
that detail
details are
because
spot
that's not a
on.
part of our daily life anymore. So yeah, what do you think, Evan?
That's interesting.
I don't know what I think because oh gosh, I kind of agree with you guys in terms of like there's obviously a lot of detail that went into it. It does sound pretty crazy. I don't know. I'm trying to think about just. Oh gosh, I'm honestly not too sure on this one. This is a good first start. I will say I am. This one is the one to where I feel like I'm the most stumped because last time, I won't say exactly how I did, but I did pretty well the last time we played this game. But this one's a lot harder. This one. So first of all, hats off to you, Mr. Schmevin. But I think I'll say true, but I'll go with true.
Yeah, I'm going with true.
So all truths.
So and then one false.
Okay.
All right, you true, Chris?
Yeah, I'm
okay,
true. I think
The
it's
story of the Musgrove House and inmate William Jernigan is a fake story.
Wow.
Yes.
I completely made that up. That
Let's
was fun
go.
to come up with.
Wow.
That was a
That's
good
impressive.
story.
I will say I should. That was a very good one. I should have known when you ended with the person living in the attic, and at first you're like, well, they moved into a neighborhood, and they had kids to play with and whatnot. Like their children had other children to play with. I'm like, that's a weird thing to add, but okay.
Story 2, you all ready?
yeah,
That's
story two.
impressive.
Wow.
Alrighty.
Impressive.
You set the bar pretty high.
Yeah.
Sir.
Now I know what you were doing last night.
It took me a while.
Yeah.
All right, story 2. This one's not as detailed. On October 11th, 2015, Joshua James from Florida decided he wanted to pull into the Wendy's drive-thru. Joshua ordered, drove his pickup truck to the window, received his drink, and then threw a 3.5-foot alligator through the window. It was discovered that Joshua was driving drunk, saw the alligator on the side of the road, picked it up, put it in his truck, and took off. The alligator was put back into the wild by wildlife officers. Joshua was charged with assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill.
What?
He was eventually released on a $6,000 bond and banned from Wendy's for life. True crime or fake crime?
It's
Oh, that needs to be true. Please
It's
tell me
Florida.
that's true.
Is
He
Florida?
He got assault with a deadly weapon, and the deadly weapon was an
weapon was
alligator. Please tell me this was true. Please tell me this was true. I'm going true. I'm not
Okay.
thinking about it.
The only thing that
please.
sounds far-fetched is the man was drunk.
Yes.
How do you corral an alligator while drunk? You can't corral an alligator sober.
Well, maybe that's why, because he was so drunk that he had no fear. He just went straight into it and said, you know what, I'm picking you up, I'm throwing you through this window.
This
You're
is a
gonna like
Florida
it.
man. Logic
This is-
goes out the window. Like
It
that
is in
alligator. It's
Florida.
Florida man.
I'm only saying it's true because it's Florida.
Okay.
Anything can happen.
That,
Like that happened last time. We're really hard on Florida.
yeah.
If you're from Florida, we love
Sorry.
you, but y'all got some weird people.
You can say that about Alabama.
Yeah.
You can say that.
Say
A
that
lot of the
about a
South.
lot of
There's a lot of
places.
crazy.
What do you think?
Do you guys remember the man that tried to fight a squirrel for 3 days in
No.
Florida? Did you guys not read anything about that? Dude, it was everywhere. This dude
Okay.
tried to fight a man for 3 days.
Based off of that, I'm going to say the story is true. If you can't fight off a squirrel for 3 days, I believe the alligator story.
So y'all are saying true.
True.
I'm going to say true just because I'm thinking more of the nature of the game. You came up with something so detailed and plausible that it was fake. Now I think you're just going for something crazy that's true.
So all truths.
Yeah.
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 The story of Joshua James and the alligator is a very true story.
Okay.
Yes.
High five.
Wow. High five.
High five.
That
Quiet
should not
high
make me as
fives.
happy as it did. That should not make me as happy as
High
it did.
five.
but
High
I'm
five,
really
Evan.
a high five. Yeah.
When I read that last night, I laughed so hard. Because it provided an actual picture of the alligator where
Really?
I found it. And yeah, he just chucked an alligator through a Wendy's drive-through window.
As a cashier at Wendy's, what do you think?
Oh, he's
There are
gone.
alligators flying.
Is that a
I'm out of there.
Hey,
Oh,
Steve!
Here's another Florida story again. All right, story 3 already?
Yeah.
All right.
Steve, is that a gator?
Steve, is that a gator coming through the window? Get the shotgun.
Story 3. In August of 2016, 22-year-old Jasmine Richardson was released from a Canadian prison, which was 10 years after her and her ex-boyfriend's convictions. In 2006, Jasmine, who was 12 at the time, and her boyfriend Jeremy Steinke murdered. Yeah, it is a funny last name. It is murdered. The
Sorry.
couple murdered Jasmine Richardson's parents and younger brother in their own home. In the months leading up to the murders, Jasmine transitioned from a bright and happy girl to dark and morbid. And according to authorities, Jeremy considered himself to be a 300-year-old werewolf, and his personality heavily rubbed off on Jasmine. Jeremy was sentenced to three lives in prison? Sorry.
Life sentence.
Yeah, sorry. I wrote that weird. Jeremy was sentenced to 3 life in prison sentences. It was found that the motive behind the crime was that Jasmine's parents did not approve of her boyfriend, and the couple wanted to run away together. Is this a true crime or fake crime?
I'm gonna go ahead and say fake.
I don't know.
Okay, what was that last name again? That you.
Oh, her boyfriend?
Yeah.
Jeremy Steinke.
Stanky?
Stanky.
Steinke.
I don't know. I almost feel like if you were making a story, you wouldn't put such a crazy last name to try to make it believable.
This was in Canada, Evan.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
Canadian. A werewolf.
you know how I feel about Canadians.
Oh yeah, Presley. Ooh, he has some. He has some
They don't
thoughts
have
on it.
any color.
That's right.
I really do not know. I got to think about this for at least a second
I'm
or
gonna
two.
go ahead and say fake.
I'm saying fake.
I'm with Chris. I think it's fake.
All right. It's up to you.
If this is true, that's interesting.
I don't know anything if this
I'm
is
going
true.
with true. I'm just gonna go with true.
All right, so we got all fakes except for Leighton. Leighton's
Yeah.
gonna be true.
Last time this happened, it worked. So I'm gonna say true.
The story of Jasmine Richardson and her 300-year-old werewolf boyfriend Jeremy Steinke is a true,
Yes. Let's go.
very, very, very real
Let's
crime.
go.
Are you 3 for 3?
I am 3 for 3.
What is going on in Canada? Are they okay?
Unbelievable.
No.
So you're telling me based off of these stories that Florida's okay, and
Yeah, that makes
No,
Florida
no.
look great.
Canada's
That
not?
is a wild story.
A man
Yeah.
still threw an alligator through a wall.
I mean, yeah.
Canada's still winning.
Not much backing that up.
He's just a little funny, you know?
Yeah.
He thinks he's a 300-year-old werewolf. That's kind of cool. I think I'm a Jedi whenever I wake up in the morning.
So yeah, that last name, Steinke, that is a real name.
Stanky.
I looked it up how you actually pronounce it, and that's how.
Stanky.
Steinke. Yeah, you ready? Story 4.
Oh
In
my.
2005, Isabella Vitello visited Walmart in her hometown of New Jersey. She went to check out and had a frozen pizza and a 2-liter of Pepsi. However, one of the employees, Jake Martin, was very suspicious of Isabella because she was in a large jacket and baggy sweatpants in the middle of the July heat. Jake also saw her walk into the store about 45 minutes earlier, and the fact that she only had 2 things at the checkout line was a little odd to him. So he got his manager and told her of his suspicions. The manager, Brittany Johns, agreed that it was suspicious and decided to approach Isabella. Upon confronting her in line, Brittany noticed that Isabella was holding on tight to a part of her jacket. Surprisingly, once Brittany asked Isabella if she could see the inside of her jacket, she willingly opened it up. What fell out was insane. $300 worth of random items all fitting inside of her jacket. Things from chips, baby food, candy, batteries, tissues, even a baseball glove, and a variety of fruit. This was Isabella's second time being charged with theft and spent 3 months in jail. True crime or fake crime?
Isabella.
How would you fit 300 items in a jacket?
$300 worth of items.
It was literally, yeah.
Okay,
$300
dollars.
worth of items.
I heard okay, that makes more. I was
Layden was immediately like, "This is
like,
fake.
the
There's no
jacket
way."
is this big?
Layton's out here thinking that the jacket's like a safety deposit box. You just put stuff
Yeah.
in and it just disappears.
I don't know. This one's a lot more
It's
tame.
very, very believable, but I'm gonna say
It's
fake.
too tame. It's almost too tame.
I'm gonna go fake. I'm just
Yeah, I think Layton's gonna go 4 for 4. I think this is fake.
I think so.
I think it's true.
I think I'll follow Layden. I think I'll go fake.
All right, well, we'll
I think
see.
I'll go
Presley-
So we got
the-
3 fakes and the lone true with Presley. The story of Isabella Vitello is a fake crime.
Yeah.
High five.
No. All right, heading into the last question. Ready?
Ready.
Mark Wahlberg
Fake.
was charged with. That Mark Wahlberg is not a real person.
No, it's not real.
No. Mark Wahlberg was charged with attempted murder. In 1987, 16-year-old Mark Wahlberg attacked 2 Vietnamese men while being under the influence of drugs. While he was attacking them, he shouted racial slurs and beat them with a wooden stick, even beating one of them unconscious. He was initially charged with a prison sentence of 2 years, but he ended up just serving 45 days. This wasn't the only criminal-like thing he did in his younger years. By the age of just 13, he was addicted to cocaine. Growing up in Boston, he was known by his friends and many people as the Boston Police Department because he had more than 25 records. True crime or fake crime?
Is this some random dude named Mark
No,
Wahlberg? or
it's
is this
a
the
very
actor?
famous actor, yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure.
He's gonna sue this podcast.
He was also Marky Mark back in the day in that band. You ever heard of that? Before he was an actor, he was in some boy band. His name was Marky Mark.
It's creative.
What his name?
I
Very original.
Yeah, Marky Mark.
don't know.
I'm gonna go with
was the
true
year
on
again?
this one.
Wait,
just
so this guy's a real person?
You've never heard of him?
What's
Mark
his-
Wahlberg?
You'd know him if you
What's
saw
he
him.
been in?
You'd know him.
He was in.
I don't know
Pain,
a
No
lot
What's
of
that?
actor
He was in the
names.
Other Guys with Will Ferrell.
No Pain, No Gain with The Rock.
No, yeah, it's not.
Wow. He's a very, very famous.
What was the year this was dated again? In
1987, he was 16.
What's up, Evan?
I have a question. So Leighton, we all laughed when Evan first said Mark Wahlberg because we thought it was funny because like, oh, it's Mark Wahlberg. You laughed too. Why did you laugh?
I was laughing at him just immediately saying it's fake.
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess he didn't
Mark
think the name was
Wahlberg's fake.
believable. But
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg is fake. Now, I'm going to say it's true just because I don't know what crimes he was convicted of when he was young, so maybe it was different ones, but I do know for a fact that Mark Wahlberg has been convicted with either some crimes or he has had some run-ins with the law before. So because of that, I am going to say true, but granted, you could very easily say, oh no, it wasn't this, it was petty theft or it was this or that. I don't know what he
Yeah.
got charged with, but I do know that he has had some run-in with the laws before, so I'm going to go with true.
I want to say false because of the year.
Okay.
Just because I feel like Mark Wahlberg is not that old.
Okay.
Like I don't think he was 16 in 87.
Okay.
interesting. Yeah, I don't know what he even looks like. So, but what I think is like a great way to make a fake story would be have a person that's true and have someone that people know had some kind of history, but you just tweak a couple little things to make it fake. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
what
go
I'm
with
worried
fake.
about.
I'm gonna go with fake. I think he would do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with fake too.
Presley, what do you think?
Fake.
Okay.
Wow.
So Evan's the only one
Evan's
saying
the
true.
only true.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Evan is true. Everyone else is fake.
Yeah.
The story of Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark, is a true crime.
Yeah.
He did. Mark Wahlberg, as a younger kid, was wild. He did a lot of bad
Okay,
things.
so he is that old.
He dropped out of school and when he was like 14 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
You
know
reckon
this
that's-
guy.
Yeah, I was like, you've never heard of the Wahlbergs?
That's-
It's Donnie Wahlberg. His brother, he was in, what's the band? Was it New Kids on the Block? Was that what
Yes.
Donnie Wahlberg was in?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's also an actor, Donnie Wahlberg. He's been in, well, you may know, like, he's been in, like, the Saw franchise and whatnot. I don't know if you know him from there.
I haven't
'Cause I
seen
think
Saw.
oh, you haven't? Oh, sorry, I thought you have. But no, he's been in different stuff.
I have a lot of movies.
But you don't see Saw?
Yeah, you haven't
Yeah,
seen
you
a
don't-
lot of movies, and
you
it
don't
makes
see
me
some?
cry.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, we got to do something about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Well, that is the second.
Dang.
So who
Second
won?
thing.
Who won?
I got-
Leighton?
I think
Leighton's
Leighton
got
got
one.
one.
Leighton had a
I
four.
think I got
five.
3, so I think I'm tied for the runner-up.
Yeah.
What'd I get,
But
one or
if
two?
you are If you're listening and you got all of them right or beat Leighton, just comment that and just rub it in his face.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. And let us know if you like that too, because if the ones listening like it, we're gonna keep doing that because that's a lot of fun.
It's fun for us to play. So
Yeah. So it is time for the most fun and aggravating thing we have done and might ever do on this podcast. It is time for Presley thoughts.
My brain's not ready for this.
all right, I hope you guys got a lot of sleep last night because this is going to drain
I woke
you.
up and told y'all that I can't process flavors yet.
It's too early.
You think I can process you?
You may not make it.
No.
All right, let's
this.
get going. I've got quite a few here.
We had
had
quite a
fun.
few.
Quite a few. Not too many. I got like about 6. So yeah, 5 or 6. All right. I'm
scared.
Let's get right through them. Presley thoughts. Okay, this one is actually an original. I just want to say that. Just want to kick this off with.
Wait. It's not a joke then, right? Because no comedy is original according to you.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure I got this from somewhere else, but I made it my own. The first Presley thought is, if I had $1 for every stupid decision I made, I would hire my future self to go back in time and stop my past self. Also, how does Cracker Barrel not have omelets?
Okay, the second part of that is nuts.
It is!
They don't have omelets?
They've got
does
all the
Crack-
ingredients to make an omelet.
Yeah.
And they don't have omelets.
What?
Cracker Barrel, that is true.
Have you
How
ever
does
had one?
Cracker Barrel not have omelets?
I'm trying to remember the last time I went to Cracker Barrel.
We got one just down the road.
I've just
We're
never
going
thought of it
for
Like,
dinner now, and we're gonna order an omelet, and they're gonna tell us
There's
no.
no way.
Yeah,
that
but
they
hold
don't have an
on,
omelet.
hold on. Can we not just run by the fact that what? Say what you said.
Yeah, let me repeat that. If I had $1 for every stupid decision I've made, I would hire my future self to go back in time and stop my past self. Also, how does Cracker Barrel not have omelets?
So hold on,
Okay.
let's dissect this. If you had $1 for every
mistake.
mistake,
Yeah,
you
little stupid
ever
decision.
you ever made,
Yeah, that was dumb.
you would hire your future self to go back in time to fix
Stop.
to stop my
Yeah.
past self. And then I was like,
it. And so this is
how
when
does
you
Cracker Barrel not have omelets?
this was when you were in your bathroom looking at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, one of those daily
6 a.m.?
conversations.
Had to have.
Well, either AM or PM.
Okay.
I alternate.
So that could be a plot of a movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the plot of several movies.
You get rich enough
Yeah.
where you can travel through time. You hire your future self to go back in time, made all the dumb mistakes, and now you're just living a perfect life.
I actually like this. Yeah,
and
I like this.
but in this reality, Cracker Barrel does have omelets.
Oh.
That's a good movie.
Yep.
Well, that's the.
I'm gonna have to go to Cracker Barrel now.
Yeah. You should call them. You don't even have to go.
Call Cracker.
Hey.
Call Cracker Barrel.
Y'all got omelets. You got a whole bunch of things hanging off the wall, and you ain't got omelets. All right. Number 2.
Oh, Lord.
Isn't lasagna just spaghetti flavored cake?
Stop. Stop.
Oh.
Because you're not wrong.
I'm not.
That makes sense.
I'm not right, but I ain't wrong.
Actually, I think this is the
That's actually kinda
most
true.
true case of
Yeah.
you're not right, but you're not wrong. If there was any case to where that was more,
It's literally-
this is the most true here
Yeah.
because it's it's a spaghetti flavored cake. It's great.
You hate how true that is.
It is true.
It is.
That's why it's killing me.
And you don't like it. See, that's what I tried to do with it, because last time we did this in the last episode, go watch that. Is that a lot of them were more like, yeah, this is too dumb. But
Your
there were a
head
few
hurts.
that is like on the border of making some sense.
That makes
So this time I tried to walk that line with all of them.
My head hurts
We're just
because
too in.
because that's true.
Yeah.
Who thinks of that?
Yeah.
And I slammed my head on the table when you said that, so that didn't help.
Sorry.
But
I had
man,
spaghetti last night. Now I won't ever.
you've ruined beef jerky, cheese, and lasagna.
Stop. I eat all of these things.
Oh no! But Presley's now going to go into his kitchen. He's going to make a lasagna with that cheese and some beef jerky. He's just going to
No,
make a spaghetti flavored cake out of that.
Cow raisins.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I wasn't gonna spoil it, but yes, cow raisins.
Meat raisins.
All right. Number 3. All right.
Deep breath.
What if? Hear me out.
Okay.
What if normal people are colorblind and colorblind people see normal colors?
I've actually thought about this. I have.
It's like, what if we're the ones
Because,
that are colorblind?
dude, colors are different to everybody.
Yeah.
What's blue to you
Yeah.
may be what yellow looks like to me.
I don't know about that extreme.
What's red? No, it is.
You serious?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
What's
there have been some
red?
cases.
That chair,
Yeah.
all maroon flavored, all maroon, all maroon colored light,
Yeah.
maybe what like white is to me. You don't know.
I don't think it's that extreme.
That could
Oh,
end
you think
racism.
about all these things. You can agree with that.
Nah.
Oh my.
Because you know those colorblind
It's
tests.
because he didn't come out with it.
You know those
so.
colorblind tests with all the little circles of like the ones with that have numbers.
That have
hidden in
numbers.
them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm about to pluck your beard.
What you call blue,
Yeah.
you've just
It is
been
true.
It
trained
might be
to
a-
say this is what blue looks like.
Yeah.
It's like this
Yeah.
is blue, this is white, and we're just gonna, you know what I mean? But you really see black.
Yeah.
But you just call black
with you up until this
blue,
one.
and I call blue blue, and you call black blue. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're confusing.
My mind.
you know what I mean.
I feel like I'm in my accounting class, sophomore year of college.
Number 4. Okay, we're doing this, all right? The easiest way to make people uncomfortable is to ride in an elevator and face the wall instead of the door.
That's just a
that's
fun
actually
fact.
funny.
No,
That's
that
not a
is
Presley
funny.
thought. That's just a fun fact.
It's a thought.
I've seen videos before where like, cause you know, like it's like monkey see, monkey do. Whatever you see, like the
Yeah. And then
majority
other
of people
people,
doing is like you consider that in your head, like, oh, that's what I should be doing.
Yeah.
I've seen a video where it's an experiment,
Yeah.
and so they hired like people to go in these elevators and just start facing the wall, and then some random people they don't know will come in and they'll stand there for a second, but then after like a couple seconds they'll turn around,
Yeah.
because they
Like
think
it,
that's what
yeah.
they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That is fun to think about.
It is. We're
Yeah,
doing that.
there's
We
different like
should do
tests
that.
and
I've watched
stuff
too
like
many horror movies. If I see somebody facing the wall on an elevator,
Oh, I'm
I'm
dead.
taking the stairs.
that. Yeah.
That's if you can fit in the elevator.
That's
Yeah.
true. There are
Yeah.
very few elevators. You know, I actually can't ride some roller coasters at Disney.
What?
Really?
They're too tall.
Some of the ones that have like your legs dangle,
Yeah.
I can't do it because my legs are too long.
Wow.
They'll take my legs off.
Well, that
You
stinks.
shouldn't have been that tall then.
I'm sorry.
Just don't be that tall.
They fed me a lot of broccoli and cornbread.
Broccoli and
That
cornbread.
must be I need to get on that. I'm not that tall. What is this? Number 5.
All right, let's see.
Wait, number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Number 5. So,
He's laughing.
you know how we name our dogs?
Do they name us?
Have you ever wondered if they named you?
Oh. I
What?
knew it was going
Wolf?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure my cat
What?
has a bunch of vulgar names from me.
I believe that.
How would they name us? They can't talk.
there. But in their own
can
head, kind
think,
of like with the
you
color
know.
thing. In their own mind, they create
Have
like
a-
a little
Have you ever
name.
seen a husky? They
Association.
talk.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, here's a thought. This is a latent thought, and I'm
no.
sure you might have thought this. What do deaf people? What language do they think in?
In their head.
Like
Deaf.
how? What do they think?
Like if they were born deaf?
Yeah, they're born deaf.
I
They
don't
never
know.
heard anyone talk.
I don't know what their inside
Or
voice
like-
is like.
Never been, or what? Okay, anyone, and you're never taught like a language. Like, what are you like? What are you thinking? How do you think?
You know,
It
Not that
probably
language.
sounds they can't hear.
yeah.
No, they probably like think. You know how like in Charlie Brown, how you hear the parents talk and it's just like whoa 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 whoa
Yeah.
whoa. That's how they think. They can't think words, right?
I don't think they could even hear that.
But then what's in their mind? What are
I
their
don't know.
thoughts?
That
you know that
is
inside
just like-
voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't
the-
have it.
Do they have an? Do deaf people have an inside?
That's what
voice?
he's saying. Yeah.
Well, that's part of it. Yeah,
They-
their
I guess they
inside
don't.
voice. Like, what are they like thinking? Like when you start thinking something in your head.
Like
Okay.
if I ask a deaf person.
How are they
Well, then
gonna-
how,
well, I
are they,
guess
how are they
sign
going to hear? Well, there's like sign language, so maybe they kind of like think in different things. But before that,
Maybe they
what
think
do
in
they think
symbols.
in? Because like babies, what do they think? But I just blew your
That
fully
is crazy.
a full head of hair mind instead of bald mind. I blew.
Yeah.
I blew your haired mind bald non-bald head.
Hairy head. Yeah.
Confusing me again.
Yeah.
All right.
These
Kinda number
thoughts make my
6
brain
before-
just stop working.
All right. Now here's a serious one, and this one's for open for discussion.
Okay.
That's not good.
It isn't a fact like all these other things I'm saying. You know. Okay. It's about relationships. This could be a romantic, friendship, whatever.
Is this a serious one?
Yeah, this is the serious
Oh,
one.
okay.
I like to throw in a little serious one just to
Okay.
show I'm not completely insane.
Not
Okay.
It's there though.
It is, yeah. I'm not arguing that.
Remember, he is a serial killer.
Yep.
Apparently.
Yep.
So did you know, according to the internet, did you know that most successful relationships have an issue that they've been arguing about for years, and on the other hand, many unsuccessful relationships believe that they have to resolve everything and believe that a difference of opinion shouldn't exist between them?
Wait, say
Yes.
that?
Can you explain that to me like I am 5?
So basically,
Dada and Mama have problem.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I didn't
No,
really
you're doing
understand
good. Keep
either.
going.
I need you to explain it again. I
Thanks.
just use that language.
So
Use that
okay,
language.
let me.
So,
So
want me to
you're
read it
saying
again?
successful relationships
Yeah.
have a particular problem that they can't get
Well, not
past?
just one, but like they might have a couple problems that they
That
just
has been elongated through the entire relationship.
yeah, like nothing. It doesn't have to be big.
Right.
It could just be a disagreement on something. I mean, that doesn't mean that
And unsuccessful
relationship
relationships feel like they have to.
agree on everything,
That
even the
makes
little
sense.
stuff. You know,
Yeah, because that puts a lot of stress on.
a lot of pressure on
Oh, yeah.
like we have to agree or we're not okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a married man. That makes sense.
Yeah, Chris is married, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to Jess if you're watching.
Shout out to Chris, who's here.
Hi.
Do you want me to read that again?
Yeah, read it
That
again.
makes
Read it
okay.
one more
That
time.
makes sense.
Did you know that most successful relationships have an issue that they might have been arguing about for years, but on the other hand, many unsuccessful relationships believe that they have to resolve everything and believe that a difference of opinion shouldn't exist between them? I mean, this could be friendships, romantic, whatever.
That makes sense.
What do you
'cause
think
my wife
about
thinks
this,
that
Evan?
she's taller than me. She's not. We
Well,
argue
that's a
about
difference of opinion. I mean, it's not like relationship ending. It's just a difference of opinion. And neither one of you is willing to say, yeah, you're right.
I'm like really trying to think about this. So
Yeah.
like,
Well, here's another. I didn't write this down, but here's another like side to that. Like, I think I hate when people say, in society, because that doesn't really point a finger to an exact person. I like
Yeah.
pointing fingers. I like to.
I like putting the blame on someone.
I like to administer appropriate blame.
Yes, I'm never at fault, just to be clear, but I do like giving people their proper judgment.
But anyway, in society today, there's the whole stigma. I hope I'm using that word right. Stigma that if I disagree with you, it means I hate you.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
And that
sure.
if I love you, then that means I have to agree with everything you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah,
I can still love you and disagree with you.
right,
that's
I think that's
Yes.
healthier
yeah,
Oh yeah.
rather than like, no, you have to agree
I
with
would
me. or-
rather have somebody like
I'm shutting
call
you
me out
Yeah.
instead of just agree with me, even though they know I'm wrong. They're just going to agree with me to make my feelings feel better. No, hurt my feelings. Kill
Yeah.
me.
Well, like
hate my-
they say a lot of times like relationships, like if two people are really similar, they're more likely to argue more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so maybe that kind of ties in with it because if you do if you are a little different and have your differences, like what you're saying, like that, a lot of times leads to more successful.
Yeah, that could
Relationships.
be in terms of personality
Yeah.
as well as like just disagreement on topics. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying to make that just like be logical in my head, and I can't like.
See,
I
this
agree
still
with
counts.
that,
This still
yes.
counts as a Presley thought.
Yeah,
Does it hurt your head a little bit?
yeah. Oh,
That's
it
a
does.
makes you
requirement.
think.
That's a
Yeah.
requirement.
Something that
It's
makes
not
you
a Presley
think.
thought unless it hurts your head.
Something a little more serious.
Yeah.
A little more serious. So what do you think?
I like I like this
Yeah.
week's Presley thoughts.
I'll
Yeah,
keep
there we
them
go.
coming as long as people like them.
My head hurts now.
Yeah.
That's why we do this towards the end.
I loved them. They were not as crazy as the one as the ones last podcast. They were not. I mean, these were very good. I liked them, but just if you haven't heard them on last
More
podcast,
practice.
I mean, I'm sure I don't know how you haven't between the references, but oh my gosh.
Makes you think.
Yeah. I like them.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a good time.
Trying to find a good balance between like what's actually plausible and also a little dumb.
You're gonna have a thought one of these days soon
Yeah.
where
It's gonna hurt
to you. No, to you, it's gonna blow your mind and think that you just figured out something crazy in life.
Yeah.
And to us, we're just gonna be like,
No.
you are a complete idiot, and just give you an answer to what you're questioning. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, It's gonna happen soon. I guarantee it.
Like
it
I'm gonna
happen-
think of the long way to the answer.
Yeah, it happens all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
That's why I have those conversations with myself to try and weed some of them out.
Insane.
Them out.
Who am I gonna talk to?
Like,
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
The mirror.
again,
Exactly.
Your grandma. We say this every time. She's
I know.
upstairs.
I feel like
Nice.
we're doing the same
You
way.
say she's upstairs. You can
upstairs.
walk, can you not?
I guess.
what a family, man.
If I had to.
All right. So last segment of the podcast, we are gonna play overrated or underrated. Yeah, this might draw some differences.
This is gonna end friendships.
Yeah, in friendships.
Remember those things I was talking about? Differences of
Yeah.
opinion? Okay. Here we
This
go.
is going to end it.
All right.
The only thing that ends my friendships
No.
is the blue shell from Mario Kart. That's the only thing that truly ends friendships.
Yeah.
That, you know,
Yeah.
death.
That tends
death,
to end
death
friendships.
tends to end
Yeah,
some friendships.
That's true.
That's true.
All right. Overrated or underrated?
Oh, wait.
Taco Bell.
Is there like one right in the middle? Like you got overrated, underrated,
Properly
just
rated.
rated?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Overrated, underrated, or I'm having
proper.
trouble talking today.
Yeah, I can tell it's
Overrated, underrated, or properly rated? Taco Bell.
overrated.
I'm gonna, say,
I think it's overrated
I'm
too.
gonna say properly rated.
I think properly too. There's some things I really like. Like sometimes I'm really in the mood for it. But
Either properly rated or overrated, I would think. I'm not a huge fan of the menu selection. Like whenever I go there, I always just get the normal tacos. Like I'm not like the other stuff on the menu isn't bad. Just there's not a whole lot of variety, in my opinion.
you know those Mexican pizzas that they used to have a while ago?
Yeah.
And
Are
now
they
they're
gone?
back.
Are they
yes,
gone?
they're gone.
They're bringing them
What?
back.
They're gonna bring them
Yeah,
back.
they're bringing them back.
They
Okay.
just Taco Bell just came out with chicken wings.
Yeah, they
I
had chicken
saw
wings.
that.
I just spit
Leighton
on
just
it.
spit on Presley.
I didn't even notice.
They have the chicken wings before they have their freaking Mexican pizzas.
Dude, I've never just driven past Taco Bell and be like, yeah, I want to ruin my night tonight. Let's go get some Taco Bell.
What do you say?
No, I
They
just- I
took
don't.
away the quesaritos.
What?
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yeah.
Quesaritos
Oh,
were
like
gone.
quesaritos.
They're gone. Yeah, it's terrible.
Like if somebody was like going to Taco Bell, be like, "Hey, do you want something?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure," but I don't go out of my way to go get Taco Bell.
I'm like Taco Bell, like it's it's fast food, so you know what you're getting,
Exactly.
and it's okay in the moment, but it's bad after. Very
You
bad.
know what I
after.
mean?
That's to me. That's just like
Yeah.
I don't eat it all the time. I eat it maybe a couple times out of the year, maybe not even that.
Oh yeah.
But
I
yeah,
only eat it when I'm really hanging out with Zach, honestly.
yeah.
Honestly.
Zach eats
Yeah.
it like it's his religion.
Yeah, you can probably say underrated, even though he eats it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Taco Bell to me is overrated. Next, are fireworks overrated or underrated?
I would say underrated.
Okay,
Just because the technology behind fireworks is pretty cool.
it is.
It's gotten better too.
Pyrotechnics is awesome.
Yeah,
It is cool. The amount of thought that goes into it that we won't ever know.
Exactly.
I'd say underrated.
Okay.
Like, how do they make shapes
That's a good
with
point.
fire?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I'd say they're properly rated. Like, I don't know. As a kid, I liked them more, and now I'm just kind of like, lights in the sky. That's cool.
Yeah. Like to me, to impress me, like I need a big fireworks show. Like if
Yeah.
I just see one
True.
on like 4th of July or whatever, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. It's just
Yeah.
people shooting some stuff in their
Yeah.
backyard. But if it's a really nice show, then it's kind of
I
like
just like
that's
explosions.
amazing.
Maybe that's just me.
Mhm.
I just like
I like
explosions.
to blow
I'll say properly rated. What about you, Evan?
So you guys are all so spoiled being your Tennessee boys. They are very underrated. And the reason why I say that is because, again, I come from Northern California, like north of San Francisco, and we do not have very nice fireworks there. A lot of fireworks there are illegal, though I can't say for bad reason, though, because the area is so dry. So,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
so yeah, if you use the wrong fireworks, there could be a big fire. So, I mean, it makes sense. I'm not against that.
It's California.
But you guys
Yeah.
are yeah, it's California too. I know this one's actually not for this dumb reason, but but no, fireworks. When I first moved here to Tennessee, it was so fun to see all these huge fireworks. And just like you could actually buy them yourselves. Like I remember when we first went over, when my family first went over to Zach's house, Baldman's house, and we went
Caillou's
off
house.
and to Caillou's house. Thank you, Chris. And we went and we bought some fireworks at a fireworks stand. I'm like, wait, you can have those? I'm like, wait, those aren't like mega illegal. Like, we're not going to get arrested for this. Because I've been I did not participate in it. I have been in California to well, technically, I'm over exaggerating this, an illegal fireworks show, to where
He's
like,
such a
but-
baddie.
Oh, I know. I'm so bad. It was in like a neighborhood, but but for that, all the fireworks there, they were nothing compared to what you see here, but they were illegal there, and like the cops ended up coming to like the fireworks show, and that was a fun and interesting thing. But no, in short, between all the rambling, they're definitely underrated because here you just like you get it all. In California, where I grew up, you do not get nearly the selection. You don't even get like the fun sparklers. You get like different dumb sparklers.
Really?
Or at least you used to. Yeah.
That was the fun thing as a kid.
Oh, dude, there are a lot of things in Tennessee that should be illegal that are definitely not.
yeah.
Except for going 5 over the speed limit. 'Cause
Listen,
apparently that's just, you know.
I think some of it's just natural selection. I think we need to.
True.
We need to.
True.
Now
Look,
that's a
if you're
Presley
not,
thought.
if you're not in danger when you're blowing stuff up like fireworks, what's the point?
What's the point?
You know what I'm saying? And if you are dumb enough to, have issues with.
No, I'm not just gonna light
Aiming-
as long as you're not hurting other people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you're dumb enough to do that, you deserve to get burned on
Oh, yeah,
a little
absolutely.
bit. You know,
You deserve to blow
it's
up.
natural selection.
Oh my gosh.
Here, Evan, what is the next thing?
Next thing is the show Friends. Is that overrated or underrated?
I don't know.
Properly rated. What?
Never seen it.
I haven't seen enough of it. I've
I need
seen.
you to leave the premises very quickly.
I've seen
You like
it.
it that much?
Oh yeah, I actually did like Friends.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't.
didn't really care for the plot at all, but I just like the dynamic
Yeah.
of everybody.
Like all the friends and the connections. And
Yeah, I did like.
I'll say properly.
properly.
Yeah, I'll
From
say
what,
properly.
from what
I
I've
think it's a
seen.
little overrated. I don't know what it is. I don't mind it. It's pretty good. But I've never like the amount of people that just like love that show.
Oh yeah.
To me, it's all right. But that's never been like just one of my favorites and like that I have to binge watch and
Like The Office. It's not something you're just
Yeah.
gonna leave on in the background.
right.
See, I've never seen The Office.
I'm gonna need you to leave.
I was a Parks and Rec dude. I liked wating Parks and Rec
I do-
more than I did The Office.
Chris,
I do like
thank
Parks
you
and
for
Rec.
joining us on the Pythagorean. Goodness. Yeah.
So like I grew up
Golly.
with That 70s Show and How I Met Your Mother. Like I didn't really.
I haven't
like,
seen
Did you get
watch
past the first season
Of The Office?
That's the good question.
Like you have to get
No,
past the first
actually, when I tried to watch it, someone told me to go past the first and second
Yeah.
season and start with the third season.
No.
I still didn't.
Start on the second season.
I always
You're
tell
gonna
people to
miss
start
a-
on season
yeah,
2.
You're gonna miss a lot of good things if
Yeah.
you don't start on season 2.
Okay, I have seen some clips from it, like the fire alarm
There's-
drill. I have seen.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, that's like season.
Honestly,
7.
like
I
the,
don't
the
know.
first season doesn't even have that many episodes. Like I feel like,
like
we just
6.
kind of sat through it, and like there might have been an episode or two that was like pretty good. But
And
Going-
a lot of the characters and season 1 of The Office aren't even in the rest of the show.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like you remember that
There's a couple extras, but
there's a lot of like I guess you would consider them extras, but you never see them. But they were in The Office, like in The Office, and you never saw them again after season 1.
well, I know.
Like you got Michael and Dwight and Jim and
Yeah.
Pam and all them, but
Angela and Oscar and some of the others that later became like signed on. They
Yeah.
were just extras at first. Creed, he
Oh,
wasn't
really?
an original.
Oh, Creed and Toby.
And
Toby was
Toby.
supposed to be a one-off. I'm pretty sure. I could
Yeah.
be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was just supposed to be a one-off. But then he had to come back. He brought some of the best.
Yeah.
Well, because of Michael, he brought some of the best moments of that show.
oh yeah,
all right. Is Valentine's Day overrated or underrated?
Oh, we never even
Overrated
talked
is
about
heck.
Friends that much.
It's
No, we actually
overrated
didn't.
and it's not even close. No, Chris thought that it was underrated. I thought it was a little overrated.
I can see how it could be overrated just based on how much people talk about it. I've been meaning to see it for like 5 years, and I just never have.
I'll say properly. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So that's Friends.
Is Valentine's Day overrated or underrated?
Overrated.
Yeah, I think it's extremely
Before
overrated.
I got with my wife, I would say overrated. Now that I'm married, I say underrated.
Rated.
Well, my thing is like, why do you express your love only on that day?
Well, I don't think
Well,
that's the point.
it's
That's
just like
Shmev, our birthdays and you won't agree with this. Is Christmas overrated and stuff like that? That's Jesus' birthday. That's a
Don't
birthday.
Christmas
get me
is
started.
overrated.
There you go.
Christmas is the most overrated holiday.
No, I
That's just
agree.
all
Leighton,
I'm
thank you
saying.
for being on the podcast.
It's all right. Maybe.
You know what, Leighton, you're
a little-
overrated. Leighton Parker,
I am-
overrated.
Hey, that's too far. We can't do people.
No,
Actually, we could do people.
I would
but
just say Valentine's Day is actually underrated just because I'm married, honestly. Because like when me and
you
my
don't want to
wife-
get in trouble.
Well, not just that. Like when me and my wife first got together, like all the other girlfriends that I ever had never did like anything huge. But my wife actually went like all freaking out. She got me a giant shark plushie. Okay, y'all know how much I love sharks.
Sharks.
I love that thing.
Wow.
It currently sits on my bed as we speak. I cuddle that more than her.
Okay.
But before her, it was definitely overrated. With her, it's underrated.
Oh, maybe my
That's
opinion
fair.
will change, but
No, mine probably won't. But
Because I would say that Valentine's Day, I agree more with Chris. That's either properly rated or, if anything, it's underrated. Just because, one, I feel like so many people say that Valentine's Day is overrated. I've heard from so many different people that, like, oh, Valentine's Day is a scam. And, oh, like, why would you only show your love on this one day? You should be the whole year. Like, I've heard all those things before. But I've heard that so much that, to me, even if you're not for Valentine's Day, to me, at this point, it has to be at least properly rated because it has such a low reputation, it seems like now. And because it seems like the only exception is with married couples, and everyone else is just like, oh, this is stupid. But even with some married couples, like my own youth pastor, he's like, oh, no, I hate Valentine's Day. Like he's a great husband and dad to his family and whatnot, but he's like, oh, no, we don't like Valentine's Day. Or we don't celebrate as much or something to that
I
effect.
like that.
I actually have heard some people don't celebrate Valentine's Day because of religious reasons.
Really?
It wasn't for
Actually,
religious reasons.
several
It wasn't for
times.
that.
Yeah, I know what you were saying, but I've actually have heard some people say that they don't celebrate it because of religious reasons. Same with like St. Patrick's Day and July 4th.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't celebrate some. Like,
Some people don't celebrate Halloween because of religious reasons.
I can understand Halloween, but
Wait,
Like
Chris, can I
St.
ask a
Patrick's Day?
question?
what's up?
What religion doesn't celebrate the 4th of July for religious reasons? I want to know this.
I heard it from a Catholic.
oh,
Okay. I'm just trying to think what, like, especially if it's Christianity, how does that, like, America has been founded.
I didn't ask questions. I left the conversation very quickly.
Okay, you know,
After I
this is
heard
fair
that, it's
enough.
like, great talking to you.
look, maybe they don't like fireworks. You know.
Yeah, they're like, oh, fireworks so overrated.
People are weird.
All right. Yeah, all right. So next one. Is college overrated or underrated?
Overrated.
Overrated.
Yeah,
Thank you,
overrated.
Ed.
It's
This
overrated.
is coming from someone that is a senior in college. It's so overrated.
That's coming from someone who was in college for 2 semesters and dropped out.
It's
college is
too
overrated.
dang expensive for what it is.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
Especially if you don't
but-
have to get a degree for something.
Yeah, to be fair, there are some jobs like the job, the field I want to go into. I have to have a degree for
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that. I can't just go into it right after high
Right.
school. So for me, it is worth it. But all in all, for everybody,
Yeah.
it is very
Like
overrated.
you can't just go work
Yeah.
at
The
Google
amount of
with no
people
degree.
that are making so much more money than the people that graduated with a degree and
Oh,
the
yeah.
debt they have,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it's so overrated and it's not even close.
Yeah, you got to weigh against like, okay, it's going to be this much debt, but I have to have this for this field. Am I going to be able to pay this back? Is this going to be worth it? Is this going to open up opportunities that I
Yeah.
otherwise
Like-
wouldn't have?
If I get this degree, am I going to make the amount of money that I want in order to pay
Yeah.
off
Right.
how much
And
this
then
Yeah.
is?
how long is it going to take me to pay it off?
Exactly.
Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
Leighton, that's a good aspect
if
of it. I
you're,
was just about to
like-
bring that up.
Also, how long is it
Yeah.
going to take me to get this degree too?
Right.
Because some degrees take forever.
It's also like, that's really, really hard to decide what you're going to do with the rest of your life and the degree from such a young age.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
agree.
trying to decide if you like a game after completing like 18% of it.
Yeah.
No.
Because you're only 18. Yeah. If you're
Okay,
18
maybe-
years, 18, 19, 20 years old, you've completed 20% of life.
Right.
If assuming you live to 100. That's kind of
scary.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
kind of ridiculous.
It's really
Yeah.
not fair that they make you choose what you want to do for the rest of your life
Oh,
at
yeah.
18 years old.
Honestly,
or
I'm
17.
probably not going to go back to college until like I'm in my 30s. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
figure all that stuff out
Right.
later.
Right. And especially like in our generation, it's kind of like they make it seem like you have to go to college
Oh yeah.
to be good for the rest of your life, or
Yeah.
Financially well, or
I
whatever.
hate that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do
because it's
too.
not true. I mean, you look at trades; they're kind of suffering right now, but they make good money.
Yeah, I know a couple people that I graduated high school with. That in high school they made terrible grades.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really bad. Did not pay attention. Everyone, I mean, teachers, I'm sure, thought they weren't going to do anything in life. One of them owns his own business and is absolutely killing it right now.
Yeah.
Like he's raking in money.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
like I hate when people say you gotta go to college right after high school
Gotta
or
get
else
it.
you're not gonna be financially well for the rest of your life.
And I absolutely hate that too. It personally just offends me that people
Yeah.
actually think that you're not going to be a good person unless you go get this degree right quick. I don't care.
I got a lot of thoughts on this, but to that point, also, they're kind of projecting what they failed in.
Yeah.
Like they probably wish they had gone and done it, and
Mm-hmm.
so because of that, they're going to put that pressure of their life on you.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're getting all this debt. You know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's your decision.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to. In schools, if you think about it, also, they get to brag on like, well, this percentage of our students go on to college, and you know that makes them look good, makes them more money. You know.
Yeah, you when you're coming out of high school, you have to sit down and you have to think about what you are passionate about.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you got to do research on what you're passionate about. Because if you're passionate about sports, like I am, and you want to work in the sport industry, you have to have a degree to work in sports. Well, you have to have a degree to work in what I want to do in sports. I mean, yeah,
Specifically.
you can you can be you can work in the, I don't know, I can't remember what the title is called, but you can work in like, help people find their seats and stuff.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I guess that's
That's still
technically, but
technically
you don't have to have a
working in
degree
sports.
for that.
That's an usher.
Yeah, I'm passionate about sports, and so I knew I had to have a degree to work in sports, and so I went for it. But if you're passionate about music, you don't technically have to have a degree for music.
Yeah.
Work hard, make music, be passionate about the music you're making. You don't have to go to school for that. It's you just need to find what you're passionate about and do it. Go forward and just do what you're passionate about.
Because it's not all about money, but you also have to look at it like I have to feed myself.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah. You got to make a living. So
you have to
Yeah,
make a
gotta
living,
keep it in
but
mind.
it shouldn't all be about money.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I'm sure there's several people that are miserable in their jobs, but they
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like they have to stay with it because it's like, well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
put all this money and debt into this degree so I can get in this field, so I can have this life, and they're totally unhappy.
Yeah.
Alright.
I would rather make $30,000 a year and happy than $100K a year and just
I
unhappy.
actually have to agree. I
yeah.
would not want to just. I don't care how much the money is. If I'm completely unhappy at that job, I'm not going to stay at it.
Right.
I would
Yeah.
rather do something that I actually like.
Right.
the majority of your day is going to be at your job. So
Oh, yeah.
you have to keep. You got to think about that. What you want to do.
Majority of your life
Yeah, it's
It's
just
gonna be
work.
actually right.
is just working, so I would
Make
I
it
would prefer
count.
to like it.
Two things for certain: death and taxes.
All right. So next is Friday, day of the week. Friday. Is Friday overrated or underrated?
Overrated.
When I was younger, it was properly rated. Okay.
Now,
When I was in school, Fridays were the best.
yeah. I think Fridays are overrated.
Now,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Overrated,
I'm
yes.
still
What do you
working on
think?
Fridays, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, I think a lot of people they hate their job so much and they just really want to get to the weekend and
I feel like
maybe they look forward to it a
If
lot.
only you're off on the weekends, Friday is still good. But if you work during the weekend, it's like Friday doesn't care.
That's the thing.
It's true.
If you have that mindset the whole week,
Then
and
there's
you're
something else
only,
wrong.
You're only looking to Friday. You are wasting a big chunk
Oh,
of your
yeah.
life.
Oh, yeah.
If you're only looking to Friday, like
Yeah.
that's
And
why
then-
I think
and then
Fridays
dread-
are overrated.
And then dread Monday.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then I would say Mondays are underrated
They are
because
underrated.
they're so people
It's a
dread
fresh
them so
start
much.
to your week.
Yeah.
I'd rather go back to work
What
on a
about
Tuesday.
Evan over here? What you thinking, bud?
Yeah, what you thinking?
Honestly, I don't have any thoughts on it. I'm just like, it's a day of the week. I'm like, yeah, it's
You're just
Yeah.
I mean that's a good
it's rated. I
that's
don't
a
know.
good that's a good thought process though.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you catch yourself like dreading the work week and looking forward to only Friday.
Mo-
Next thing you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are gone, and you're like, "What did I do?
What did I do this week?
Yeah.
I wasted 4 days just looking to Friday."
If you
Yeah.
think about it, it's about drive.
It's about power, and you stay hungry, you devour.
You devour.
Yeah,
You put in the work, you put in the hours.
right. And you take.
But not if you want an omelet at Cracker Barrel. You can't do that.
You can't do that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's Friday. You can't do that.
Fridays, yeah, I think Fridays are very overrated. Walks
agree.
on the beach.
Underrated. Completely underrated.
Underrated.
I love walking on the beach.
Dude,
It's so
yeah.
underrated.
I went to the beach like not around this time last year, but last year I went to the beach. I went to Myrtle Beach. Okay, dirty Myrtle. It's a dirty beach. Honestly, the water's
heard.
gross.
It's a beach.
But the sunset was gorgeous. Okay, I'm just sitting there. I'm just chilling. I'm just walking on the beach. It's a great time.
You still got the sound of the waves crashing. And
Exactly.
going back.
Well, I mean, I'm blasting music because I'm loud and annoying. But
I mean, that can be a good time too.
Forget the
you know.
waves.
I'm partying on the beach by myself. So
No,
You went by yourself.
no. Yes.
you forgot?
You forgot where he was.
Were you kidnapped?
No.
No,
I went to the
I'm pretty
beach
sure it
willingly.
wasn't that.
I'm trying to
What
remember
happens
who
in
was
Myrtle
with me.
Beach stays in Myrtle Beach.
Well, I was trying to remember why I was on the beach by myself.
Maybe
remember.
you just want a
Don't
little
have to
stroll.
go into that.
You know?
No, can't remember.
Yeah, walks on the beach are it gets, to me, that helps get, like, I don't know, when you're walking on the beach, everything you're, like, thinking about or, like, worried about is just kind of, like, gone. It's so, and you don't really realize it until you're doing it.
Oh yeah.
It's so nice.
Let's
Like,
go to the
me
beach.
and Presley went to the beach over the summer, and I think we walked on the beach every day for,
It-
multiple times
At
throughout
least
the
once a day. It could
Yeah.
be morning, afternoon, night. You get the sunset.
Yeah, and we
So,
just talked about certain things while we were walking.
Just
walking.
life.
It was very nice.
It's
Yeah.
also weird because like you're physically moving and you're also verbally getting things off your chest. I don't know if there's something to that mentally, but
Yeah.
science.
I feel like Presley thoughts would be even weirder on the beach.
Oh my! They actually make more
man.
sense. That's what's scary.
might help the brain flow.
We should go to the beach.
I only
I'd
make
say
sense when I
underrated.
go to the beach.
Yeah, walks on the beach. If you think they're just like this cheesy thing that people say, they're like, no, they're very
You go to the
underrated,
beach
and you
and
should
walk.
definitely try it.
To that same effect, have you ever walked outside after it snowed and it's really quiet?
Yeah,
It's kind of that same
Oh
effect.
yeah, it's kind of that same feeling.
very chill.
except
relax.
I did that literally yesterday.
Yeah. Isn't it peaceful?
It is. It's very, very nice. Well, it was very peaceful until my dog came out, and then he ran literally everywhere at top speed.
I'm
That
also
would
going to add
knock
something
Jesus.
else. I would say, just in general, being outside is underrated because
I
not
agree.
enough people go
I agree.
outside and just enjoy
That's fair.
nature.
Yeah,
so I'd
that's
say
fair.
all of that's
I'm gonna
underrated.
Stay inside and play COD instead.
I'm with you, but also it's really nice to go outside and just
Balance.
That's true.
relax.
Like I only
Yeah.
like going outside when it's like 70s, 80s. Like during this time when it's cold.
Okay, that's
I like that
I
though.
don't like the cold.
I love the
I
cold.
like it. Because that means I can go for a walk and not burn up.
I don't, my lady wants to move up to New York. You're insane. If you think
Oh,
I'm moving to
there
New
you
York,
go.
That's too
absolutely
cold.
not.
You got to breathe through your nose so it has time to warm up before it hits your
further
lungs.
south if I'm moving anywhere.
We're going to Florida.
Yeah,
I'd fit in.
walks on the beach, underrated.
Yeah.
Next, are languages overrated or underrated? And think about this.
In what aspect?
Like
Yeah.
us speaking right now, is that not crazy to think about?
Yeah, okay.
Like why did they decide
Like
that
the fact that we
certain
have
words
speech.
are words?
Okay. I would say the structure of English is horrible.
Oh my gosh, overrated.
It has
Overrated.
way too many problems, but the idea of communicating with people and different sounds are known to be something. The idea of a language is underrated.
I feel
Very
like the
underrated.
school
Very
system
because
seems to
I don't think you
completely
think about it
change the
enough.
way they teach English.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't
Like, this is a cup.
really.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
like someone came up with those
Yeah.
words.
Well, the amount of grammatical errors that we probably had in this hour and a half alone.
True.
Well, that's just because English.
I mean,
is
we're talking about how bad
ridiculous.
English is while using English to trash talk on English.
Yeah, like that's complicated.
You know, a long time ago, people were probably just like groaning and like just trying to get people
think
to
we're-
understand what they were saying.
I think we're going to
Yeah.
go back to that. We're going to go through the drive-through.
there
Hey, what do you
now.
want? Err.
Oh, here's a Presley thought. It's a little added Presley thought. Why? Explain.
It just we're getting
I think that's
lazier
stolen
and lazier
humor,
and
for
lazier.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm there now. I'm
sure you stole
grunting
that.
and just not communicating at all.
Yeah. Can I get a side of fries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no, languages are very underrated. I feel like.
As well as learning other languages, I feel is
Yeah.
underrated too.
Yeah.
I would like to successfully do that one day.
I took Spanish for
And the
3
fact-
years.
yeah. The fact
read
that
it,
you
can't listen
can-
to it.
The
Can't
fact that
speak
you
it.
can, if you learn that you can talk to anybody around the world
Oh yeah.
that have different languages,
Yeah,
that's crazy
Oh yeah.
to think about.
Yeah, I see what
Yeah,
you're
very
I see what you're
underrated.
saying.
I like the thought. Yeah. I like
All right, and last one is Disney overrated or underrated?
Overrated.
Say overrated.
Overrated.
And overpriced.
I think
Overpriced,
no.
for sure.
I'm not just saying Disney World. Disney.
Oh, Disney in
Company
general.
Disney. Like you have Disney
Oh.
World, you have all the Pixar movies, the old Disney movies.
Oh, well, you can't
Marvel
put
now
Pixar
is
owned
movies
by
in
Disney.
there.
That's too broad.
Yeah, it's too broad.
If you were gonna just say Disney World, overrated and expensive, but
Correct.
if you say Disney, you're talking about like 8 different movie franchises.
Oh yeah,
That's too much.
because Star Wars is included in that.
Yeah, and
That
that's
hurts my feelings.
Well, the new Star
Different
Wars are very
generations.
overrated.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. New Star Wars.
The
is very
old
overrated.
Star Wars is very underrated,
Correct.
and people won't give it a chance.
That
wasn't
was
Disney.
not Disney.
Disney.
That is correct.
That's too broad.
I'm just trying to think of all the different movies and like movies that I really liked growing up watching.
I think Disney's very underrated.
Me, Disney
Even with all they do.
musicals. Any Disney musical, I believe, is completely overrated.
Thank you.
Amen.
But
I do
people
agree with
love these movies so much, and they talk about them so much. Anything that comes out, it's like such a big movie.
I hate
I feel like it's maybe properly.
You know what that sounds like?
Properly rated. What?
Marvel movies.
Okay.
Which is owned by.
It's owned by Disney.
Disney.
Marvel
Yeah.
is overrated, but Disney is. Overrated.
I'm like
I
thinking of Pixar movies.
I
and-
hate walking down the street and just hearing every other song from that one Disney movie that came out that year, and everybody's just absolutely raving about it. I hate musicals.
Frozen
with
was
passion.
ruined for me because it was way overhyped, and by the time I saw it, I was like, "This is what we're all talking about."
Same with the one that like just came out in Enchanto, something like that, or whatever.
Enchanto?
I haven't seen it. all yet.
Everybody's like absolutely blowing that
I
movie
haven't
up.
seen it.
I already hate it, and I haven't even seen it.
Yeah, that made me dislike Frozen before I ever saw it.
I hate musicals.
like-
I have a personal vendetta against musicals.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I hate it too.
I hate it. Just,
I mean,
they're
As a
just
whole,
extremely
I
cringy to me.
understand.
There's a couple of movies that I actually like their music.
The Greatest Showman pisses me off.
It's so cringy. It's
Yeah.
so cringy to me.
It's bad.
They're the beginning of the movie. It's like them and like I don't know. They're like 10 or something like that, and they're singing a song. And next thing you know, they're like 35.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
happened?
In the
Where's the
middle,
plot?
in the middle of this song, they aged 25 years. Like, where did that? What happened in that time?
I don't know.
Like,
They were singing the entire time.
I do kind of like some of the songs in there. They're actually some pretty good songs.
I
in that
mean,
movie. But the
sure.
movie itself, oh, I hate
Like
it.
as a musical, it's disrespectful to other musicals, like
Okay.
actual musicals. I understand that it is an art form, and you know, there's a lot to be said about it. I don't understand it. I personally think if people are just in a normal setting like this, we're not just gonna burst out into song in perfect
No.
5-part harmony, start dancing up on the table,
No.
perfectly choreographed. That's not realistic.
That's why I think it's just super cringy. It's just all musicals.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I'm not saying it's not understandable. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Some
Well,
people love them.
I do think Disney is overrated though. At this point,
okay. I mean, that's fair.
Depends on what aspect.
if you would have asked me in like 2015, I would have said underrated. But everything since then
It's
has been-
expanded.
yeah.
You'd have to break it down for me. Like
Yeah.
Disney Pixar, underrated.
Yes.
Disney
Yeah.
Marvel, overrated.
Extremely.
I say certain Marvel things are underrated.
Just all of it.
Yeah.
Certain
aspects, not necessarily the movies.
Yeah.
But as a whole,
I think some of the shows are severely underrated.
yeah.
I think what Marvel's doing, like with the whole multiverse and all that, and
It's starting to
bringing,
get complicated.
Yeah.
it is getting complicated. But I think that's really cool, and
I do
that's a
think
cool
it is.
like business idea and stuff.
Yeah.
Something that DC just could not do.
Oh
and it's
my
terrible
God. I
at.
don't even think about DC.
Have you even heard what they're talking about doing to DC recently?
What?
Like Flash.
Yeah, with the Flashpoint, they're getting rid. This is all rumored, and I hope it's just a rumor. They're getting rid of Affleck. They're getting rid of the Henry Cavill.
Yeah, Superman.
Getting rid of them. There's going to be another Batman.
Because
in-
Robert Pattinson is supposed to be the next Batman.
in that DC universe.
Yes.
Well, there you go. And then whenever Batwoman has her movie at the end of that, you know how there's the big three:
Yeah.
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
It's going to be Shazam, Flash, and Batwoman, something
I
like
hate
that.
that.
Yeah,
What?
I don't like
actually
that.
do hate
Good combo.
Because I actually, I hated on him for a while, but I actually like Ben Affleck as Batman.
I don't mind him. I prefer Christian Bale.
Oh yeah,
I do, but
Not even
I don't
close.
think he's a bad Batman. He's just a different one.
He's an older Batman.
I like the Superman actor though.
Henry
was
Cavill
really
was
good.
good.
I
Henry
never-
Cavill was good.
I don't know how.
Man of Steel was probably one of the best DC movies I've
Yeah.
seen in
Yeah.
a while.
I heard Man of Steel, Aquaman, Shazam, the first Wonder Woman. Those were pretty good.
The only reason Aquaman is any good is because Jason Momoa plays Aquaman.
Yeah, that
Honestly.
man's a beast.
Like
He
if
fits
they had
Aquaman so
anyone
well.
else
Yeah.
play Aquaman, it would not have been good.
Yeah. All right. I think that's all the time we have for today. Evan, thank you for joining us on the Zoom call.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was a fun time.
Evan had a little trouble getting here today. That it's very snowy where we are, and he got stuck on a road. But we're just happy you're all right.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you putting that in. Thank you.
He's okay. His vehicle's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I did not go off
sanity
the
is
road
not
for
there.
context. I didn't do anything bad. My car is not powerful enough. I did not go into a ditch.
But you're still dedicated, and you still
Very
called
dedicated.
It's still here.
Yes,
amazing.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, special shout outs to Leighton for helping set up the audio stuff.
Yes, good job.
Oh,
bud.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right, but yeah, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the PT_podcast and YouTube at the Pythagorean Theorem Podcast, as well as Spotify and Apple Podcast. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening and watching. And yeah, thank you for joining us for a session of awkwardness.